Hello aspirants, welcome back to the Current Connect series. I'm your host Ritesh and we are here with the second part of our video series focusing on developments in the Indian economy for the month of May. In our previous installment, we explored the intricacies of Indian polity and governance. Through this video, we hope to provide you with a comprehensive understanding of the Indian economy, its strengths, challenges and potential avenues for growth. So let's dive in. In today's segment, in the first issue, we will be discussing an important scheme called Liberalized Remittance Scheme or LRS. This scheme has been making headlines recently, so let's dive right in. The Liberalized Remittance Scheme is a framework introduced by the Reserve Bank of India or RBI to simplify the process of remitting money outside of India. It allows resident individuals to transfer foreign exchange, commonly known as forex, for various purposes without requiring specific approvals from regulatory authorities. The main aim of the LRS is to encourage foreign investment by Indian individuals and facilitate the ease of remitting money outside the country. Under this scheme, eligible individuals can remit up to a maximum of $250,000 in a year without facing any significant hurdles. The LRS covers a wide range of permissible transactions, including funding foreign education, travel expenses, medical treatment abroad, gifting, and even investment in shares and properties. It provides individuals with the flexibility to diversify their investments and assets globally. However, it is important to note that there are certain restrictions under the LRS. Trading in foreign exchange or buying lottery tickets, for example, are not permitted in the transactions. Additionally, entities such as corporations, partnership firms, Hindu undivided family, and trusts are ineligible to avail themselves for the scheme LRS. The Liberalized Remittance Scheme offers several benefits to individuals. It allows them to finance their foreign education, fulfill their travel aspirations, and seek medical treatment overseas. It provides an opportunity to broaden horizons and embrace global opportunities. However, it is also important to balance the benefits of outward remittances with the potential impact on India's foreign exchange reserves. Large-scale remittances can put pressure on India's forex reserves, which need to be managed carefully. Lastly, it's worth mentioning that in August 2022, the Reserve Bank of India issued a directive stating that any unutilized money remitted overseas by Indian residents for more than 180 days may be repatriated back into India. So that sums up the discussion on Liberalized Remittances Scheme. This is important for your exam and you need to understand certain points that we have discussed in this particular theme. Now, moving on to the next topic, where we will be discussing the Reserve Bank of India's recent report on currency and finance for the financial year 2022-23, with a special focus on the theme towards a greener, cleaner India. So let's dive right in. The report highlights several major findings that shed light on the intersection of finance and environment. So let's explore some of these key points. The report suggests that the central bank digital currency or the CBDC can be more environmentally friendly compared to other cashless methods. It explains that CBDC payments would be instantaneous and final, and reducing reliance on clearing corporations and settlement infrastructure could help cut down the energy consumption. Another significant finding is that public sector banks may be more vulnerable to climate-related risk compared to private sector banks. Climate stress tests conducted on the financial system indicate that the potential losses due to this risk will be very high for the public sector banks. So the reports also highlights that the financing requirements for India to address climate change is also significant. It suggests that an additional annual investment of about 2.5% of GDP by 2030 would be required to bridge the infrastructure gap resulting from the climate change. In terms of macroeconomic impact, the report states that the climate change could lead to an annual GDP loss of anywhere between 3% to 10% by the year 2100. It also emphasizes the potential job losses, estimating around 34 million job losses by 2030 due to heat stress and productivity decline. The Reserve Bank of India has been proactive in addressing climate change, and it has joined the network for greening the financial system (NGFS), which aims to strengthen global response to meeting the goals of the Paris Agreement. The RBI has also issued sovereign green bonds (SGBs) to finance green infrastructural investments and has released a framework for mobilizing green deposits by regulated entities. The report outlines various policy options to mitigate the climate risks. These include the fiscal policy initiatives such as carbon pricing through carbon taxes and emission trading system, the adoption of green taxonomy to identify sustainable assets and activities, and technology adoption through targeted research and development investments. The report also suggests that monetary policy can play a crucial role in mitigating climate risks. Higher usage of central bank digital currency or CBDCs can help lower carbon footprints. Additionally, lower margin requirements for sovereign green bonds when used as collateral can incentivize green investments. So for your exam point of view, central bank digital currency, the network for greening the financial system, the NGFS, and the sovereign green bonds are important. That's all that you need to know. Moving on, we're going to discuss the increasing trend of central banks, including the RBI, ramping up their gold holdings in their forex reserves. So let's dive into the details. So over the past decade, central banks worldwide have been the net buyers of gold on an annual basis. In fact, India ranks among the top 10 official buyers of gold from 1999 to the end of 2021. RBI's gold reserves have reached 794.64 metric tons in fiscal year 2023, marking an increase of nearly 5% over the previous fiscal year. So what are the reasons behind this increasing gold holdings by the central banks? Firstly, central banks use gold to balance their foreign exchange reserves. Gold acts as a risk management tool, providing stability during economic turmoil such as the COVID-19. Secondly, gold reserves they serve as a hedge against the eroding value of the fiat currencies due to inflation. Central banks view gold as a safeguard in preserving the value of their reserves. Additionally, diversifying portfolios is another crucial factor. Gold's prices tend to have an inverse correlation with the US dollar, offering protection against market volatility. This diversification strategy helps central banks mitigate risk and maintain stability in their reserve holdings. It's also worth noting that this increase in gold holdings is a departure from the trends in the 1990s and early 2000s when central banks were net seller of gold. Now they are net buyer of gold, but previously it was not the case. During the period, favorable macroeconomic conditions and downward trend in global prices made it less attractive as an investment option during the period 1990 to 2000. However, the attitude of central banks towards the gold started shifting following the significant financial crisis such as the 1997 Asian financial crisis, the 2007-2008 global financial crisis, etc. These events highlighted the importance of gold's safe haven properties and its ability to withstand economic uncertainties. Now let's focus on the RBI's gold reserves. They have consistently increased over the past 5 fiscal years, reaching a new high of around 800 tons. RBI decision to bolster and diversify its reserves is driven by a rising global economic uncertainty and geopolitical tensions that have the potential to impact the value of the world's reserve currency, that is the US dollar. It's important to note that central banks' forex reserves comprise a combination of currencies like the US dollar, euro, pound, renminbi, along with other currencies. Gold and the International Monetary Fund's currencies quotas known as special drawing rights. So this is also important from the examination point of view. So please remember that the forex reserves consist of currencies like dollar, euro, pound, along with other currencies, and then gold, and then internal IMF's special drawing right. And that wraps up our discussion on the central banks, including the RBI, ramping up their gold holdings. It's evident that gold continues to play a significant role in managing risks, diversifying the portfolios, and safeguarding reserves amid global economic uncertainties. In the next development, RBI has opened an application window for the Global Financial Innovation Network's GFIN greenwashing tech sprint. Now let's explore the details. So the GFIN's greenwashing tech sprint is a collaborative initiative involving 13 international regulators, including the RBI. The objective of this tech sprint is to address the pressing issues related to environmental, social, and governance practices, or cumulatively known as ESG, and mitigate the risks of greenwashing in financial services. The tech sprint brings together firms and innovators from various backgrounds to develop a tool that can effectively tackle the deceptive practice of greenwashing. So what is greenwashing? Greenwashing refers to misleading marketing tactics that falsely portray positive environmental or social outcomes. For instance, a company might claim their product are green or eco-friendly without any substantial evidence to support their claim. They may use images of nature or make vague statements about sustainability to create an illusion of being environmentally responsible. Greenwashing can mislead consumers and make it difficult for them to make an informed decision. It can also undermine the efforts of genuine environmentally conscious businesses that strive to make a positive impact. Now, to provide some context, the ESG framework helps stakeholders such as investors and customers understand how organizations manage their environmental responsibilities, social impact, and corporate governance practices. It's an essential aspect of sustainable and responsible business practices, right? So India is also making significant progress in implementing the ESG regulations. The Security Exchange Board of India, that is the SEBI, has introduced the Business Responsibility and Sustainability Reporting Framework, that is the BRSR. This framework aims to connect a company's financial performance with its ESG practices. It has been mandated for the top 1,000 listed entities in terms of market capitalization, starting from the financial year 2022-23. Now let's talk about the Global Financial Innovation Network, which is launched in 2019. It is a collaborative effort by international financial regulators and organizations. Its primary goal is to support financial innovation and identify regulatory gaps in emerging technologies across different sectors. And it also acts as a surveillance tool, allowing regulators to detect issues before they become problematic, right? So this is what you need to know. So this is a comprehensive coverage of this issue. And now we are moving to the next topic. There have been reports of scammers using leaked biometric details, specifically silicon thumbs, to bypass the need for the OTPs and siphon money from the users' bank accounts. Let's understand how this relates to the Aadhaar-enabled payment system. The Aadhaar-enabled payment system, or AEPS, is a bank-led model developed by National Payment Corporation of India, or NPCI, that allows online financial transaction at point of sale and micro ATMs using Aadhaar authentication. It eliminates the need for OTPs, bank account details, and other financial information, making transaction more convenient for the users. With AEPS, fund transfer can be made using only the bank name or Aadhaar number and the fingerprint captured during the Aadhaar enrollment. This means that instead of remembering the multiple passwords or sharing sensitive banking information, the user can simply authenticate their transactions using their fingerprint linked to the Aadhaar number. However, recent incidents involving scammers using silicon thumbs to exploit this system have raised concerns about its security. These scammers are using leaked biometric details like artificial thumb made of silicon to trick the system into thinking that they are the legitimate account holders. By doing so, they can bypass the fingerprint authentication process and gain access to users' bank account details, enabling them to siphon off money without even needing the OTPs or other security measures. It's important to note that these incidents highlight the importance of safeguarding our biometric information and staying vigilant while conducting financial transactions. While AEPS offers convenience, it's crucial to be cautious and take additional security measures to protect our personal information. So that's all for the AEPS. And now moving on to the next important concept called the angel tax. It is a term that you may have come across in discussions related to taxation and investments. Let's dive into what angel tax is and the recent changes proposed by Ministry of Finance regarding this particular tax. Angel tax, introduced in 2012, refer to a tax levied on capital raised by unlisted companies. The objective behind implementing this tax was to discourage the generation and use of unaccounted money through the subscription of shares of closely held companies at a value higher than their fair market value. Until recently, angel tax provisions were applicable only for investments received from the resident investors. This means that if an Indian resident invested in an unlisted company and the valuation of that investment was higher than the fair market value, the company could be subjected to angel tax. However, with the 2023 budget proposal, there have been changes to the angel tax provisions. The Finance Bill of 2023 has extended the applicability of angel tax to non-resident investors as well. This means that even investments received from investors who are not residents of India can now be subject to angel tax if the valuation exceeds the fair market value. It's important to note that the Ministry of Finance has also proposed change in angel taxation and has notified foreign entity that will be exempted from the tax provisions. These exemptions are intended to provide relief and promote foreign investment in the country. The changes in the angel tax provisions and the inclusion of non-resident investors aim to ensure fairness and transparency in the investment practices. By expanding the scope of angel tax, the government seeks to prevent the misuse of unaccounted money and maintain a balance in valuations. So that wraps up the discussion on angel tax and its recent changes. Next up, we have an interesting topic to discuss, which is the Trade and Economic Partnership Agreement, or TEPA, between India and the European Free Trade Association, EFTA. Let's explore the key details and the potential benefits of this agreement. TEPA, or Trade and Economic Partnership Agreement, is a type of economic partnership agreement between countries. It offers flexibility in terms of negotiating terms and conditions, allowing the parties involved to tailor the agreement to their specific needs and interests. The purpose of TEPA is to promote free trade and economic cooperation among its member states and with other countries. In this case, India and the EFTA states, including Iceland, Norway, and Switzerland, are exploring the prospects of resuming their negotiations towards the TEPA. The potential benefits of TEPA between India and the EFTA states are significant. Firstly, because India's growth and leadership in green technologies can benefit from the support of EFTA countries, which are known for their expertise in high-tech industries. Improved market access is another advantage. Indian goods can gain better access to EFTA markets, where EFTA's export products often serve as inputs in Indian export industries. This can boost trade and create new opportunities for both sides. Additionally, TEPA can attract increased investment from EFTA states. These countries have already invested over $35 billion in India, and with this agreement, the investment inflow can further grow. Mutual benefits are also expected. EFTA states can benefit from India's highly skilled workforce in the service sector, while India can benefit from the presence of over 400 companies established by EFTA states, which generate a significant number of jobs. Another important aspect is the contribution of EFTA states to India's green growth aspirations. With their cutting-edge technologies in renewable energies such as solar, wind, hydro, geothermal power, EFTA states can support India's transition towards a more sustainable future. However, there are also challenges to implementing TEPA between India and EFTA countries. The economic structure of EFTA countries, which focus on high-tech industries and services, differ from India's focus on low and middle-tech industries and services, right? Market access is another challenge. Issues regarding tariffs, quotas, and non-tariff barriers need to be addressed to ensure free and fair trade between the parties. Regulatory differences, including regulations, standards, and legal frameworks, also need to be reconciled for a smooth implementation of TEPA. Furthermore, securing domestic manufacturers, especially in sectors like pharmaceuticals, biotechnology, and machinery manufacturing, where EFTA countries have a competitive edge, is crucial to strike a balance in the agreement. Addressing environmental and social challenges is also equally important. TEPA should promote sustainable development and address issues such as gender equality, ensuring a long-term and successful partnership between the parties. Negotiating a mutual beneficial agreement that meets the interest of all parties involved in this TEPA can be a challenging process. It requires careful consideration and understanding of each other's priorities, right? So that brings us to the end of our discussion on TEPA between India and EFTA states. Remember, international agreements like TEPA have the potential to boost trade, foster economic cooperation, and create new opportunities, right? So, up next, according to the president of World Economic Forum, India is experiencing what is known as a snowball effect, which is expected to result in exponential growth in the coming years. So let's dive into this concept and understand its implication. Now, imagine a snowball rolling down a hill. As it rolls, it accumulates more snow and it gets bigger and bigger. This is similar to what is happening with India's economy. The current growth trajectory is expected to create a snowball effect, leading to even more growth, investments, and job opportunities. When an economy experiences a snowball effect, the initial growth sets off a chain reaction. Let's consider some examples to understand this better. As India's economy grows, it attracts more investments from both domestic and international sources. These investments, in turn, fuel various sectors of the economy. For instance, new manufacturing plants are established, leading to increased production and job creation. This results in more people being employed and earning income, right? With more people employed, and earning income, the purchase power of the population increases. This in turn leads to higher consumption of goods and services, further stimulating economic growth. As the economy continues to grow, it becomes an attractive destination for businesses and investors as well. This creates a positive cycle of growth, which when more investment flow in, more jobs are created and more economic opportunities arise. The snowball effect has the potential to transform the Indian economy by generating exponential growth. It creates a virtuous cycle with each stage of growth reinforcing and accelerating the next one. So that's how it works. So this growth is not limited to a specific sector, but has the potential to impact various industries such as manufacturing, services, technologies, and much more. However, it's also important to note that sustaining this snowball effect requires continued efforts, favorable policies, and a supportive business environment. It's a collective effort involving the government, businesses, and individuals. However, it's important to note that sustaining this snowball requires a continued effort, right? So, next up, the effect works. Next up, we have the interesting information about the scheme Uran, which is Ude Desh Ka Aam Nagrik, specifically the latest version, Uran 5.0. Let's explore this scheme and its key features. The Uran scheme was launched in 2016 by the Ministry of Civil Aviation to improve connectivity in remote and regional areas of India. It aims to provide affordable and economically viable air travel on regional routes, even in small towns, to the common man. Uran 5.0 is the fifth round of this scheme, and it brings some of the important changes compared to the previous versions. Now, let's take a look at the key differences. In previous versions, the focus category was Category 1, which included aircraft with 19 to 78 seats. However, in Udan 5.0, the focus has expanded to include Category 2, that is 20 to 80 seats, and Category 3, that is more than 80 seats. Another significant change is the removal of the distance length cap. In earlier versions, flights were limited to distances of 500 km, 800 km, or 1200 km. But in Udan 5.0, there are no restriction on the distance between the origin and the destination flight. The viability gap funding cap has also been adjusted. In Udan 5.0, it is set at 60% of priority area and 20% for the non-priority areas. This funding, that is the viability gap funding, aims to bridge the viability gap for airlines operating in remote and underserved regions. Udan 5.0 also introduces some changes in terms of exclusivity and implementation period. Airlines will have an exclusivity period of 1 year for the awarded route, which means the same route will not be awarded to a single airline more than once. Additionally, airlines will now be required to commence operation within 4 months of the route award instead of the previous deadlines of 6 months. This ensures a quicker implementation of the connectivity services. It's important to note that in Udan 5.0, no predetermined routes will be offered. Instead, airlines can propose their network and individual route proposals, allowing for more flexibility and customized connectivity options. Overall, Udan 5.0 aims to further enhance the air connectivity across the country by expanding the focus categories, removing distance restrictions, and providing more flexibility to airlines. With these changes, the Udan scheme continues to fulfill its objective of connecting unserved and underserved airports, revitalizing existing airstrips, and ensuring affordable air travel for all. Right? That's all about the Udan scheme. Next is an important topic called ethanol blending. Ethanol blending refers to the process of mixing ethanol with petrol to reduce the reliance on fossil fuels when running vehicles, right? So this practice offers several benefits such as lower pollution levels, cost saving, energy security, and the transition to low carbon economy. In India, the National Policy on Biofuels 2018 sets a target of achieving 20% ethanol blending under the Ethanol Blended Petrol, that is EBP program, by 2025. However, the current ethanol blending ratio is 10%, and the target for the current year is 12%. Increasing ethanol blending has numerous advantages. For instance, it is estimated to save around 4 billion per year with 20% ethanol blending. Additionally, it helps to reduce the emission of harmful gases like CO2, CO, and HC, etc. And also decreases the country's dependence on oil imports. It also boosts the farmers' income by creating a market for their produce and minimizes the air pollution. Despite these benefits, there are some challenges associated with the ethanol blending. One challenge is the shift towards sugarcane production, which can impact food security. There are also storage constraints and difficulties in transporting ethanol between states. Moreover, ethanol blending alone does not reduce the emissions of nitrous oxide or another greenhouse gases. To address these challenges, the government has taken several initiatives. The National Policy on Biofuels 2018 provides a framework for biofuel development. There is also the E100 pilot project, which explored the use of 100% ethanol as fuel. The Pradhan Mantri Jeevan Yojana 2019 promotes the production of biofuels from various feedstocks, and the repurpose used cooking oil initiative focuses on converting used cooking oil into biofuels. Recently, a pilot project for E20 fuel, which contains 20% ethanol, was also launched. So looking ahead, it is crucial to ensure the uniform availability of ethanol across the country, obviously, and promoting advanced biofuels that go beyond ethanol blending is also essential. Addressing the challenges associated with ethanol blending, such as food security, storage, and transportation, will be important for its successful implementation. Also, by embracing ethanol blending and other biofuel initiatives, India aims to create a more sustainable and environmentally friendly energy economy while benefiting farmers, reducing pollutions, and enhancing energy security. Right? So that concludes our discussion in ethanol blending. Remember to stay updated and informed about the latest development in the renewable energy sector and its role in building greener future, as it is a renewed focus area of PSC. Next up, we will be discussing the coal production sector in India and the ambitious action plan formulated by Ministry of Coal for the fiscal year 2023-24. The Ministry of Coal in India aims to enhance production efficiency, sustainability, and new technologies in the coal sector. So, let's explore some of the key points. The first area of focus is coal analytics. The ministry aims to achieve a coal production target of 1,012 million metric tons for the fiscal year 2023-24. They intend to increase the coal production and efficiency while formulating a strategy to enhance the availability of coking coal in the country. Additionally, efforts will be made to improve the quality of coal. Moving on to private investment, the ministry aims to achieve a capital expenditure or capex target of rupees 21,030 crores for the fiscal year 2023-24. They also plan to monetize assets and allocate 25 new coal mines for commercial mining during the same period. Infrastructure projects are also a focus area. The ministry will monitor new railway line projects critical for coal evacuation. They will adopt a coal logistic policy or plan to ensure effective and environmentally friendly transport of coal. Safety in mines is another priority. The ministry is committed to ensuring the best safety standards in coal mines. They will conduct safety management and response drills and scientifically close mines to restore ecological balance. Technology, as you already know, plays a crucial role in the coal sector. The ministry aims to implement a technology roadmap and promote clean coal technologies such as coal to hydrogen, coal and lignite gasification, and coal bed methanol coal mine methane projects. Lastly, sustainability in the coal sector is emphasized. The ministry plans to develop eco parks and promote mine tourism. They will utilize mine water and overburden while implementing energy efficient measures. It's important to note that India has the 5th largest coal reserves globally and ranks 2nd in coal production after China. Coal accounts for almost 50% of the total installed electricity generation capacity in India. Through this action plan, the Ministry of Coal aims to drive the growth and development in the coal sector while ensuring sustainable practices, technological advancements, and along with safety measures. So that wraps up the discussion on the coal production sector in India and the Ministry of Coal's action plan. Remember to stay informed about the advancements and challenges in the energy sector as we strive for a sustainable and efficient future. Next up in this topic, we will be discussing manufactured sand, also known as AIM sand, and its advantage as an alternative to natural river sand in construction. AIM sand is a cost-effective and convenient alternative to natural river sand. It is produced by crushing rocks or quarry stones to obtain sand particles of consistent size and shape. Recently, the Rajasthan government has also shown support for the use of AIM sand in construction projects, making it mandatory to use at least 25% AIM sand in government projects. There are several advantages to using AIM sand. Firstly, it has similar properties to natural sand, making it suitable for various construction purposes. It is readily available and reduces the need for mining the natural sands, which helps protect the environment as well. Moreover, AIM sand requires less water for construction projects as it does not need to be washed before use. Now let's understand the differences between M sand and natural sand. In terms of particle shape, M sand has a cubic form which enhances bonding in construction, while natural sand has flaky, sharp and angular grains. M sand also has zero silt content, whereas natural sand may contain silt ranging up to 3 to 20%. One important aspect is quality control. M sand is manufactured in a controlled environment, ensuring consistent quality, whereas natural sand does not have strict control over its quality, leading to variation in silt content. When it comes to concrete strength, M sand contributes to high concrete strength, while natural sand may result in low concrete strength. In terms of availability, M sand requires production and availability may vary, whereas natural sand occurs naturally and its availability depends on the river bed. From an environmental perspective, M sand reduces the need for natural sand mining and repurposes waste materials. This helps in minimizing environmental degradation, habitat destruction, and water scarcity associated with the excessive sand mining. Right. Lastly, its cost effectiveness plays a significant role. M sand can be more cost effective as it can be produced in large quantities at lower cost. On the other hand, the cost of natural sand may vary based on its availability and location. It's important to note that sand is classified as a minor mineral under the Mines and Mineral Development and Regulation Act of 1957, and its administrative control rests with the state governments. The Sustainable Sand Mining Management Guidelines 2016, issued by the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, encourage scientific sand mining and environmentally friendly management practices. In conclusion, M sand provides a viable alternative to natural river sand in construction projects. Its similar properties, cost effectiveness, and reduced environmental impact make it a preferred choice in many regions. However, it's crucial to ensure responsible and sustainable sand mining practices for the long-term well-being of our environment. Next topic is World Food India 2023 program. World Food India 2023, organized by India's Ministry of Food Processing Industries, which will be held in New Delhi from 3rd to 5th November this year. The primary aim of this event is to showcase India's rich food culture and attract global investments in the food processing sector. This event will bring together manufacturers, producers, investors, policymakers, and organizations from across the globe related to the food ecosystem. It serves as a platform for collaboration, knowledge sharing, and business opportunities in the food processing industry. World Food India 2023 focuses on several key areas. Firstly, it aims to leverage millets as a superfood, promoting their production and consumption worldwide. Millets are highly nutritious and environmentally sustainable crops, as you may already know. Secondly, the event aims to position India as a global hub for food processing. India has immense potential in this sector, and it seeks to attract investments and foster innovation to further develop its food processing capabilities. Thirdly, World Food India 2023 aims to unlock the growth potential in strategic segments of the food industry. By identifying and harnessing opportunities in areas like organic farming, value addition, and technology adoption, India aims to boost its agriculture and food processing sectors. Another crucial focus is on establishing an efficient ecosystem for food processing. This includes improving infrastructure, logistics, and supply chain networks to ensure smooth operation and enhanced productivity. Lastly, World Food India 2023 emphasizes promoting sustainable development in the food processing sector. India is committed to creating an inclusive and environment friendly ecosystem that encourages responsible production and consumption practices. It's also important to note that United Nations has declared 2023 as the International Year of Millets. This global initiative aims to increase the production and consumption of millets worldwide, which aligns with India's focus on leveraging millet as superfood. Additionally, it's also worth mentioning that India holds a remarkable position in various food production globally. India is the world's leader in production of milk, banana, mango, papaya, guava, ginger, okra, and buffalo milk. Moreover, it ranks second in the production of rice, wheat, potatoes, garlic, and cashew nuts. In conclusion, World Food India 2023 is a significant event that showcases India's food culture and attracts global investments in the food processing sector. It highlights India's potential to become a global leader in this industry and promotes inclusive and sustainable development practices. So that wraps up our discussion on World Food India 2023. In the next issue, let's delve into the certification of India organic products and the recent issues highlighted by European Union audit. The audit revealed many weaknesses in the certification process for Indian organic products intended for export to the European Union. The certification of organic products in India is regulated by Food Safety and Standards Authority of India, that is FSSAI, under Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. The FSSAI oversees the manufacturing, distribution, sale and import of organic products through the Food Safety and Standards Organic Foods Regulation of 2017, which falls under the Food Safety and Standards Act of 2006. Two key certification programs are in place to ensure the authenticity and quality of organic products. The first is the Participatory Guarantee Scheme, our system, PGS, which is implemented by the Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare. The PGS aims to ensure that organic production adheres to the standard qualities. It does not require third-party certification agency, but relies on local groups consisting of producers and consumers. Certification under PGS is based on trust and is supported by a documented logo or statement. The second program, or certification program, is the National Program on Organic Production, that is NPOP, implemented by Agriculture and Processed Food Products Export Development Authority, or APEDA, under Ministry of Commerce and Industries. The NPOP regulates organic farming certification and involves the accreditation of certification bodies. It sets standards for organic production and has gained recognition from the European Union, Switzerland, and the US. However, the recent EU audit highlighted various issues in the certification process. One concern was that lack of knowledge among the farmer in organic producer groups, that is the PGs, regarding organic farming practices. Additionally, there were instances of infringement of NPOP's norms. Inadequate supervision is also there, and implementation control were also lacking. However, to further promote organic farming in India, the government has taken several programs and initiatives like the National Mission for Sustainable Agriculture, which promotes sustainable agriculture including organic production. The Paramparagat Krishi Vikas Yojana specifically focuses on promoting organic farming practices. Moreover, the Mission Organic Value Chain Development for our Northeast region supports the development of organic value chain in the Northeast region of India. It is crucial for India to address the weaknesses highlighted in the certification process and ensure that organic products meet international standards. This will not only strengthen the reputation of Indian organic products in the global market, but also support sustainable and eco-friendly agriculture practices. So that concludes our discussion on the certification of Indian organic products and the challenges revealed by the recent European Union audit. In this context, it is also crucial to understand three different farming methods: the conventional farming, organic farming, and the zero-budget natural farming, that is ZBNF. Let's take a closer look at their key aspects. Starting with conventional farming, it heavily relies on the use of chemical fertilizers and pesticides. This approach often involves extensive use of these chemicals to enhance crop growth and control the pest and disease. In terms of external resources, conventional farming depends on external resources for manure and fertilizers. These external inputs are often purchased or acquired from outside the farm. Preparation of conventional farming involves plowing, tilling, and mixing of manures, right? These practices aim to prepare the soil for the planting, and it also ensures the proper nutrient distribution. Weed control in conventional farming typically involves the use of chemical herbicides or mechanical methods to remove or control weeds that compete with crops for nutrients and other resources. Pest control in conventional farming relies on the use of chemical pesticides to combat pests and protect crops from infestation and damages. Moving on to the organic farming, it discourages the use of chemical fertilizers and pesticides. Instead, natural methods are emphasized to enhance soil fertility and control pests and diseases. Organic farming relies on the organic manures and fertilizers from external sources such as compost, animal manure, or green manure. These natural inputs enrich the soil and provide essential nutrients to plants. While organic farming still requires basic agro practices like plowing and tilling, it encourages minimal disturbance to the soil and promotes the preservation of soil structure to benefit the organisms. Weed control in organic farming involves the natural methods like mulching, which uses organic material to suppress the weed growth and conserve the soil moisture, right? Finally, let's discuss the ZBNF. This farming approach prohibits the use of any chemical or organic fertilizers for pesticides. It relies solely on locally available and farm-based resources, and in ZBNF, there is no plowing, tilling, or use of external fertilizers. Instead, the focus is on decomposition of organic matter on the soil surface, which enriches the soil and promotes its health. Unlike the conventional organic farming, ZBNF considers weeds as a essential, and weeds are essential for the ZBNF, and utilizes them as living or dead mulch layers to protect the soil and conserve the moisture. One significant advantage of ZBNF is that it can be done almost in a zero budget, utilizing only local producers or locally available and farm-based resources. This makes it a cost-effective farming method for small-scale farmers. Right. So that wraps up the discussion. And now let's solve some of the MCQs. The question says, consider the following statement regarding the liberalized remittances scheme. There are 3 statements. And the first statement says it enables individuals to make investments in the international financial markets without obtaining permissions from the RBI. Under this scheme, resident Indians can transfer funds up to 250,000 USD in a financial year. Under this scheme, remittances are not permitted in real estate, the purchase of lottery tickets, and marginal trading. How many statements of the above are correct? All these statements, so that is 1, 2, 3, all are correct. So the correct answer is D. Next question says, what are the advantages of zero tillage in the agriculture? This was asked in UPSC 2020. Sowing of wheat is possible without burning the residue of the previous crop, without the need for a nursery of rice sapling. Direct planting of paddy seeds in the wet soil is possible. Carbon sequestration in the soil is possible. So zero tillage farming is a way of growing wheat crops without tillage or disturbing the soil in harvested fields. Happy seeder is one of the unique techniques which is used for sowing seed without any burning of crop residue. Hence, statement 1 is correct. Direct seeded rice or zero tillage DSR is an alternative crop establishment method for the rice, where seeds are sown directly without raising them in a nursery. So, statement 2 is also correct. If crops are not burned and the land is prepared through mechanical agitation, carbon sequestration remains possible. Hence, statement 3 is also correct. So, the option B will be the right answer. And the next question was on greenwashing that we just discussed. It was asked in UPSC 2020, and the correct answer will be option A, that is conveying a false impression that a company products are eco-friendly and environmentally sound. So that's all for today. Join us every week as we uncover the latest developments, provide you insightful analysis, and equip you with the tools you need to excel in your JEE Scientist journey. As we conclude, it's important to recognize that the Indian economy is a dynamic and evolving entity, and it is shaped not only by policies and industries but also by the dreams and aspirations of people like you and me. We encourage you to stay connected with the ever-changing economic landscape of our country. Stay informed, stay curious, and continue to explore the opportunities that lie ahead. Until we meet again, keep connecting the dots, keep learning, and keep striving for a prosperous future of India.